Good evening, everybody. This is Meenal here. Hope you had great and happy Diwali. And today is again one Diwali day. Today आज भी एक देव दिवाली का festival है. And I'm sure सब लोग पूजा में and you must be really into all those customary and religious things. But very important thing आज के दिन में if we talk about mind body connection, ये होता क्या है? What are we going to talk? हम सबको पता है कि ह्यूमन माइंड जो हम सोचते हैं वो हमारे शरीर के साथ कनेक्टेड है. समटाइम्स the whatever sensations we have in our body are very much correlated with what is going on in our mind. A very simple example बताऊं आपको. Suppose if you're nervous, कुछ नया शुरू करने वाले हो या कोई नए if you're going to meet somebody new or if you are something new you're coming up with या कुछ नया स्टार्ट करने वाले हो या किसी को पहली बार मिल रहे हैं तो यू बिकम लिटिल नर्वस हो जाता है ना कभी कभी. नॉट नेसेसरीली इट हैज टू बी समबडी you're dating or some senior, but किसी को भी पहली बार कुछ नया करने जाते हैं तो जनरली हमारे हाथ में कभी कभी पसीना आ जाता है. your palm starts sweating. That we all have experienced many a times. Like for example, if you have a performance or any important meeting or some important लोगों को मिलते हैं, so what is it indicating? So see, this is where a very basic way we can understand how a mind and body and everything is correlated. Because you're nervous, you start sweating, right? So वो क्योंकि हमको वो nervousness का, वो fear का या वो anxiety का थोड़ा भी एक thought आया, a body started reacting. So हम समझ सकते हैं, we can understand what are the implications और कितना impact हो सकता है on our physical body of how we thought, how we feel, and how our emotional well-being is. So let me tell you one thing. Now today we all talk about mental health issues, right? That's mental health awareness year bhi hota hai, and in October we had this mental awareness week. In fact, day it was, and week and months, whatever it is. We keep creating mental awareness. So one very important thing one needs to know is if your emotional well-being, if your emotional health is fine, there will be no mental health issues. Very true. What you heard is very true. If your emotional quotient, the way you handle your emotional, when I say emotional well-being, what does it mean? Let us talk about the basic emotions that we all experience. One is anger, fear, hurt, guilt, jealousy. These are the basic emotions, during the day or over a period of time. Kabhi na kabhi we experience these. Now, ye emotions, if you are able to deal these emotions, if you're in control, if you have power to deal with these emotions, our mental health kabhi kharab hogi hi nahi. Now, let's go back. And again, we have to come to the physical part as well. So we'll see how your thoughts, emotions, and everything is related to your physical health, right? So now let's take an example of if you have the power or if you are in control of how you deal with anger. Anger is an emotion, right? When people don't behave your way, or when things are not happening the way you expected them, either you get hurt or you create anger. So what happens is when you are on a daily basis on small things, if you are able to monitor this and have control, one will never get into the state of depression or anxiety or stress. You will not create, because on a daily basis you're very much in control. Okay, this is the thought that is coming and I'm not feeling too good. When I say not feeling too good, it could be anger, anxiety, stress, fear, whatever. जो negative thought है, जो negative feeling आता है वो. तो अगर हम रोज डेली बेसिस पे अगर हम चेक करें ना, तो ये हमारा ये मेंटल हेल्थ इश्यू आएगा ही नहीं लाइफ में. एंड आज we have heard so many people talking about psychosomatic pains. सुना है, हम सबने सुना है, हम सबने एक्सपीरियंस भी किया है. इनफैक्ट व्हाट इज साइकोसोमैटिक पेन? साइकोसोमैटिक पेन क्या होता है कि you have physical pain, body में pain होता है. Many people develop acidity, many people have joint pains, people have shoulder pain, knee pain, back pain, etc, etc. Now what happens is, I have come across a lady who had severe headache. She thought it was migraine attack. It was of course something similar to migraine attacks and all. But then she went to quite a few good doctors. Twice they did her MRI. Nothing came up. Kuch nahi aaya. The reports were very clear, but her headache was not going. The migraine pain was just not reducing. So when we got into the therapy, it was identified she had some stress which she was carrying with her. The stress is resulting into migraine and headaches and body pain and all. So this is what I'm saying is, it is very, very closely related. So when you create any negative thought, emotion, and feeling, it is going to result on your body, whether you accept it or you understand it or you are aware of it. Even, I mean, many a times it's not the physical body that is tired, it is the mind that has been overthinking, which is where you feel exhausted end of the day, even if you've not done so much work during the day. Have you experienced, kabhi aapne aisa महसूस किया है दिन भर में you've not overexerted, the day was fine, itna koi, not so much of heavy work you did, but you have been thinking about something that is bothering you, or something that you have to do. It could be any thought, something to do with your past, something to do with your future, with what you're planning. But if you think and overthink, you will definitely get overexhausted. When your mind is overthinking and you're getting overexhausted, so we can understand what all we can end up by the way we think, the way we create the feelings, and the way we emote, the way we express our emotions. Now, all this is very, very interlinked. I would again go one step back. Now, we all know our human brain has conscious and subconscious mind, right? Conscious mind is something that will generally want to plan, execute the plan, take decisions. That is what, and conscious mind is only 1% of tip of the iceberg, I would say. 99% is your subconscious mind. And subconscious mind, what does your subconscious mind understand? It understands the feeling. And the conscious mind is taking care of your decisions, thoughts, and planning. Now, I'll give you one more example over here. At some point, you must have come across, or you would have experienced yourself, if you are trying to get rid of addiction. Now, that addiction could be smoking, alcohol, drugs. The very recent or the very in addiction is mobile addiction. Now, we all know, if someone is trying to get rid of smoking, he or she will think, no, is very clear, I want to get rid of smoking and I will quit. So that is your conscious mind which is taking the decision. But hota kya hai? When there is a fight or there is an argument within your self, the conscious mind will say, I want to get rid of it because it's not helping me. Whereas the unconscious mind, which is deeper, subconscious jo hota hai hamara, which is almost, always take decisions based on your feelings, how you feel when you do that particular act. But the subconscious mind at some point has registered. Now it registers all the information. That is the beauty of subconscious. Anything you see, you do, or experience, subconscious mein wo store ho jata hai as a data bank. Just how we have the hard disk, wo hard disk hai. You do something and it gets stored until unless you consciously become aware and remove it. So while smoking, if you had experienced that's when you smoke, it relieves you of the stress that you're going through. The subconscious is very comfortable. No, so let me smoke. So when you're in the process of getting rid of any abuse, if the feeling that you had experienced while getting into that abuse is pleasant, your subconscious will resist, which is where we find people who want to quit things, who want to get rid of their addictions, are not always immediately successful. This is the only reason. Your subconscious is only going back to the feeling that you experience while indulging in that addiction, and your conscious will say, let's not get into it. It's not something that we can continue, or that's not good for your health in the long run. So this is how your conscious and unconscious, or subconscious and your conscious mind works. Now, going back to the feelings, emotions, and all, what are we trying to do? What are we trying to understand? When we understand, when we realize that whatever we think, feel, and emote is directly affecting my physical body or my physical health, my well-being is at stake, right? So what we need to understand, when we become aware of this thing, when we become aware of this phenomenon, we are so much more in control of what we want to do and how we want to do. Now, suppose if you want to take control of your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and all, there are very basic techniques, which we have been talking, which we all have been hearing, breathing techniques. We have mindfulness living, like living in the present moment. You have meditation. You can go ahead and start some kind of meditation process or breathing. Just observe your breathing. And vipassana, people who have done vipassana know it very well. That vipassana meditation is a technique where you just focus on your breathing and you observe the sensations on your body. So when you get into any kind of meditation, you are taking charge of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And you can very much during that meditation, you can see that whatever you're thinking. Suppose if you have a thought which is not very pleasant, you will feel that sensation on some part of your body. So that's very much directly related to, shows the direct relation of your mind, thoughts, and what you feel on your body. So now let's get back to your, people have back pain, people have acidity. There was one case with acute acidity. Now this lady, she has been going to the doctor. She's taken so much medicine. The doctor would give some mild doses, some heavy doses, temporary relief she would get, but then that acidity would resurface. Now that can happen with any pain. It could be your lower back pain, it could be your spondylitis, any pain you have in your body. If it is resurfacing, if it is reoccurring, it means that it is just not the physical part. There is something inside, something that is going on in your subconscious, which is resulting in this pain. Now, it could be some kind of guilt that you're holding. It could be some kind of regret. It could be something that unresolved emotions, I would call it, If you are going through anything, just pause, I would say. Just pause and try and recall, try and remember what exactly, whenever you have that pain, what is the thought? What is it that is triggering that pain? If you're able to do that, it will be very easy for you to get rid of that pain permanently. You wouldn't need to consult the doctor. I'm not saying that doctors are not required. Yes, doctors are required. But if this pain is psychosomatic or something to do with your thoughts, emotions, and the physical pain, this is the best way to resolve it. And of course, you can always approach any therapist or whom you trust, and he or she can help you get rid of it. Now, what is the reason? Why do we need to do this? Because it's otherwise what is happening is we have no control on what we think, and since we don't have any control on our thoughts, our feelings will be all over the place. Now, if like for example, if you are in the habit of reacting and not responding, any small trigger coming from outside, you will react. Now, reaction is not always positive. It is most of the time negative. Reaction is most of the time negative. It could be, getting into an argument or feeling hurt or getting overwhelmed. So when we are in that situation in life, or when we are going through that phase, we need to understand that there is something that is going on in the mind which needs to be addressed. So it's important that we get into that core issue and self-regulation. We need to pause, we need to take charge. You cannot be always blaming somebody outside. If you are going through a negative phase, a negative feeling, negative emotion, if you're going through, always don't point out fingers on somebody. I'm feeling bad because of him, or because of him, or because of her. That cannot be true always, right? The opposite person will behave like he or she wants, or what he or she feels is right. Now, how you are responding or how you're reacting is in your control. So always when you take charge of what you're thinking, what emotion you're feeling, you will be able to address it. So when you address your emotions, when you have control on your emotional health, these mental health issues, I would say stress and all, you can actually bring down your stress, and you can actually bring down your physical ailment related to stress. As I said, people have that, and body language also matters. Now, have you also realized that people, when they're anxious or when they're nervous, they try to click their fingers, or they tap, some people tap that, they fidget with the ball pin, or they keep moving their feet. This is something, the physical part, it all is correlated what is going on in their mind. If they're nervous, anxiety, or if somebody is very restless, they do get into this kind of physical activity. So this is the kind of impact, that immediate impact we can see. So you can understand and you can relate how much deeper it is. So it's always in our interest to see, whenever you have any physical thing, how is it correlated to your mental well-being? And vice versa. Sometimes, some physical ailments, like people who are suffering from chronic ailments, like it could be, fatal diseases like cancer or some such diseases. They really are going through some physical ailment, but again, I would say the core is somewhere else. Most of the time, people who go through such ailments, they have a habit of worrying, or they have a habit of always, they're over emotional in, or they over reacting kind of people, I would say, who take things too personally, or who do not share, they do not express their emotions. When you bottle up your emotions, it comes out in form of some kind of ailment in the long run. So yes, so when someone is going through this kind of ailment, physical health is at stake. Physical well-being is not good. So what happens is, when you're recovering physically, when you're doing a physiotherapy, or you're doing some kind of exercise outside, that also helps you think better. Now, why is exercising so important? I often, in fact, I only tell that whatever it is, you get into some exercising regime. It could be going to the gym, doing yoga, or going for a walk. So what happens is, when you exercise, now exercising is a physical thing, right? You're doing, your physical body does the exercise, and how it releases positive hormones in your mind, we all know, right? Dopamine and all those hormones are released when you get into exercising. So it is all correlated. So get into some exercising mode. When you get into that kind of lifestyle, automatically positive hormones are released in the brain and in the gut. Now, yes, it's just not the brain that releases positive hormones, it's your gut, the stomach. It also releases positive hormones. Also, when you eat healthy food, why we emphasize on healthy lifestyle is healthy food, healthy thoughts, healthy exercising, meditation. When all this is very much balanced, the person is mentally, physically in the right state, or is in a very balanced state. So physical exercises is going to help you think better, live better, and feel better. Similarly, when you are thinking better, your emotions are in control, your feelings are in control, your physical health is going to be very much balanced and very much in control. You will not get into any kind of ailments. So what can we do? How can we achieve this? So let's start setting goals. Let's start setting goals on a daily basis or a weekly basis. Identify one thing, one habit that you have, the thinking pattern. What is that one habit that you can get rid of, or you need to work? Write down, is there something? Are you the person who gets irritated very often, or are you the person who has expectations? We all have expectations, more or less. It could be, with some people it could be less, some it could be more. But just try and identify, your expectations, are they bringing yourself, are they resulting in creating hurt? Are they bringing your morale down? Are they affecting, impacting your relationships? Identify that and try and work on that. The whole idea of today's discussion is, how do we understand what is the impact of your thoughts, feelings on your physical body, and how do we work around? So again, as I always say, get into some kind of physical exercising, which is very important. Meditation is important. And positive psychology, I would emphasize on positive psychology. Now, what is positive psychology? See, we all talk about anxiety, depression, and all. But let's keep those emotions, those feelings are there. But let's think about how do we focus on the positive side? What are the good points? What is my strength? What are my strengths? Even when if there is a friction in a relationship, just think about the positive points, the positive behavior or habits of the opposite person. When you start doing that, that relation improves. Have you ever noticed, if there's, if two friends fight, or if there is a difference of opinion between husband and wife, between spouse or partners, if you keep on thinking on what he or she has done wrong, it's just going to bring the relationship, it's going to make the relation worst, and it's going to make you feel low and down. It's not helping. But instead, if you focus on something good about him or her, or the plus points or the good things that he has done or she has done, you will automatically see the energy exchange between the two people will improve, and it will the distance will narrow down. I mean, it'll bring you closer to that person. But yes, it's all about what are you focusing on. So why are we focusing on the negative side of ourselves and of others? We at times we become very critical and judgmental about ourselves also. We don't see the plus points or what we have achieved in our life. If one failure, if you failed once, we will just want to focus on that and tell ourselves that I'm no good, I'm good for nothing. This happens at some point. Parents do that to children, and many a times we do that. We become over judgmental and over critical about ourselves. So if you are into that phase, if you're going through that, or if you know someone who is doing being very critical about himself, try and understand that it is really not required. That's only going to affect your impact your mental health and physical health. We all are, we are all work in progress. We are nobody is perfect, right? So why are we focusing, why are we emphasizing on perfection? I'm not saying working towards perfection is bad. You always take one step at a time, work towards becoming perfect. But if you are not, accept it, accept how you are. If your mind is stable, if you're okay with what you're doing today, be happy with what you've achieved, focus on your strength, express gratitude. So much we have, we have so much in life. God has given us so much. But still, we don't value what we have. We always cry and want something more, or we're never satisfied most of the time. So bring that gratitude in your element in your life. Be thankful for whatever small gifts God has given. Be thankful for the family you have. Be thankful for the loving people you have around. Start doing that. You will see the result. The entire energy in your body will change. Rather than being critical about somebody else or about yourself, start expressing gratitude. So when we make these small changes, it's definitely going to impact the way you think, feel, and your physical well-being. So, what I would request you all is identify one or two things that you think you need to work, and write it down. Start working on it. And if you think you need any help, you can always connect, or become aware. When you are aware, you will be able to make that change, right? And don't at any point don't discount that physical well-being is important and mental well-being is not. Both are interrelated, both are closely knit, both are interdependent. If your mind is healthy, your body will be healthy. If your body is healthy, your mind will be healthy, right? It's all interconnected. So take a small step towards the overall well-being. And yes, anything else you want to ask, you can always put it in a comment, and I'll try and answer it as soon as possible. But focus on yourself, and let's get into that overall holistic well-being state. Why just have a healthy mind and not a healthy body? We need both, right? We need a healthy body, healthy mind. So let's work towards it, and try and work on the subconscious, try and resolve the core issues rather than just pushing it behind or pushing it below the rug. No, don't do that. Anything, any feeling, any emotion you're going through, express it, get rid of it, identify the core issue and resolve it. Resolution of anything that you are going through is very important. Unless and until you resolve your mental blockages or baggages that you're carrying, it's at any point it will come out and impact your physical health. So friends, let's not get into that. Try and resolve whatever small things you have. If you don't have any problems, very well, very happy. Just focus on being happy, get into a healthy regime and enjoy your evening. Yeah. So I'll take your leave and have a great evening ahead. Bye for now.